Hi, hola, mi nombre es Vicky. Yo soy Vicky. I am Vicky. Do you want to learn Spanish at home? If you're interested in learning Spanish, I just wanted to tell you about the various books I have available on Amazon where you can learn Spanish in an easy to follow way with explanations in English. So this is my series, Break the Language Barrier, and in my books you can learn Spanish, as I say, with explanations in English, laid out very simply, easy to follow, especially developed for English speakers. You don't have to be English, you don't have to be British, you can be any nationality, but you do need to know English really because your explanations are in English. So let me explain about the different levels. So level 1 for beginners or beginners with a base, and in level 1 we'll go right from the beginning with some of the basics, but very quickly go into making conversations, putting together sentences. You will be learning how to put Spanish together yourself, not phrases, not holiday Spanish. This is proper Spanish, but as simply as possible. Grammar on a need-to-know basis, and it contains an equal mix of reading exercises, writing exercises, conversation, and translations. This is all the present tense in level 1. So we don't go into any other tenses, we're just in the present. This is for beginners and beginners with a base. After that, you will go to level 2. Break the language barrier, level 2. Different photo on here. I'm always changing my photos. So yeah, this is past tenses. The pain barrier, I call it, because it does get a little bit more complicated with level 2 as you get better and understanding grammar more, etc. So, oh, by the way, in all the books, the answers are in the back. So if you want to just learn Spanish with the books and not necessarily with classes, you can do that and check your answers in the back. Also, there are YouTube videos, free YouTube videos to back up the exercises for pronunciation practice, etc. And I can send you a playlist for level 2, for whichever level it is that you're doing. Of course, another way to supplement your learning is to do Zoom classes with me, or classes here in San Miguel de Salinas if you're roundabout, close by. But if not, you can do classes from anywhere on Zoom. And a lot of people find that well, the book is free if you decide to do Zoom classes with me. So if you're interested in actual classes, let me know, and I can tell you what the package is. But if not, if you don't want to do the classes, you just want to work through the book on your own, that's fine too. Or maybe you just want a class every now and again. It's fine. There's a different way. You need to find your way of learning that suits you the best. So, level 1, level 2, past tenses, pronouns, a little bit more complicated for level 1. This obviously is not for beginners. This is for more pre-intermediate, I would say, to start with. You can't start this level really until you're completely happy with the present tense. So, then, of course, I haven't got level 3 with me. Hang on, what did I do with my level 3? Once you master the pain barrier, and which is level 2, you then move on to level 3, which, believe it or not, is a little bit better or simpler, easier, because the past tenses are the hardest thing to get to grips with in Spanish. Level 3, the blue book. There we go into we consolidate. Through all the books, you're always consolidating what you've already learned. We don't just learn one thing and then forget it, and we're not doing that again. My method is a gradual progression. And level 3, we consolidate the past tenses, everything we've learned And the present tense is everything we've learned in level 1, level 2, and we then go on to the future tenses. Then, now, sometimes, you take Spanish to the level you want to take it. Some people are quite happy to do level 1. They've got enough, they can order in restaurants, they can make basic conversations in the present tense. Other people want to go on further, they go on to level 2, they go on to level 3. Normally if people get through level 2, they continue. And then to really sort of top it off, the green book, the level 4 book, this is my teacher's copy, but just to show you what the book looks like. Now in level 4 we go into the subjunctive. If you're a beginner and you're watching this, I don't want to frighten you because you're a long way off from that, but some of you are watching this, you're thinking, oh well, I'm not a beginner, I really know quite a lot of Spanish, but I'm not sure about the subjunctive, and if you know, you know. Level 4 is the book for you. All the subjunctive is explained in level 4, again, hopefully, in a clear, easy to understand fashion, with answers in the back, lots of exercises, conversation practices, translations, and making questions, which is very, very important. And again, backed up by a playlist on my YouTube channel. Once you've got through these basic, the first 4 levels are really, unless you're doing a degree in Spanish, which is a whole different thing, it's all you need. All you need to communicate effectively in Spanish, wherever you go. And remember, I'm not just talking about Spanish of Spain. I mean, you might be wanting to go to South America, or even America, where there's so much Spanish spoken now. And although South American Spanish is slightly different in some words and phrases, it is the same language. It's like English and American English. They're basically the same language, but we just have different words and maybe a little different accent, but, we can be understood all the same. So once you've gone through those and you've learned all the grammar that you need, your next step will be level 5. And level 5 is just a way of practicing all those things, because what often happens is people get through the 4 levels and then they think, well, where do I go now? It might be 6 months before I speak Spanish again. Even if they live in Spain, they might not speak it that often because they live in expat enclaves. This book is to practice everything you already know. It's slightly different format from the other books. It's divided into conversation practices, translations, a little bit of grammar, but only useful grammar, but it's not completely new grammar. It's to practice what you already know. And then at the end there's some light relief, games, word searches, etc. So this is to practice. If you're quite good at Spanish, or you know quite a lot of Spanish already, but you want to practice it, level 5 is the book for you. Again, so all those are available on Amazon. You can also order them through me. So if you want to order them through me and you can't find them on Amazon, always remember that my name is Vicki with an I, Vicki Riley with an I. Other books that just might interest you that I have on Amazon, this first one, Confessions of a Spanish Teacher. Many times people ask me, how did you come, because I've lived in Spain for over 25 years now, why did you go and live in Spain, and it was such a long story. I wrote a book about it because, it was like, how long have you got to listen to how I ended up living in Spain and learning Spanish and becoming a Spanish teacher. So, that's in here if that interests you, Confessions of a Spanish Teacher. I believe it's quite an interesting read. I don't know, it's like, for me it was like a cathartic just to put all the story down, so. Then, the other 3 books I'd like to tell you about, these are like little fillers, if you like. These are bilingual storybooks that for children or adults. Basically, it's just a little story. This one is Rocky the Rebel. They're all about dogs. You'll find out that I quite like dogs, and these are all either my dogs or dogs of my friends. Rocky the Rebel, Rocky el Rebelde, so it's in Spanish and English. So you can read the Spanish, then read the English, or the other way around. And just for a bit of fun really, and to practice what you know. They're very economical price. Also on Amazon, so we've got Rocky the Rebel, or Rocky el Rebelde. We've got Duque el Rey y Peter el Tonto se van de vacaciones, because Duque the King and Peter the silly Peter go on holiday. Again, just a little story. A few pictures. It's not in colour, because the colour ones, you do it in colour on Amazon, it ends up being so expensive. It's too expensive. So they're in black. These two are actually in black and white pictures, but you know, you can still, you follow the story. You've got the Spanish, the English right underneath each other, so you can compare directly. This is the first of these little stories that I did. This one is in colour. I think if you can see any pictures. I can't find any pictures now, and this is Princess Tia's Great Adventure, or La Gran Aventura de la Princesa Tia, and that again is a story of a dog. So, but they're just stories, but because they're in Spanish or English, and they're directly, each sentence is, you know, you've got a sentence in English, a sentence in Spanish, so you can directly compare them and work out, you know, what they mean, and they will help you with your Spanish. So, okay, so thank you for putting up with me through this short video. I just wanted to let you know about my books and how they work. As I said, the YouTube, my free YouTube channel, is a backup for the books. I am also coming up on the TV on bargain hunting. No, I always call it bargain hunting. That's because my guilty pleasure is bargain hunt. But it's bargain loving. Brits in the Sun, the new series, starts this Sunday on Channel 5 at 10 o'clock Spanish time, 9 o'clock UK time. And I am going to be featured in that series. I'm not sure exactly which episode it will be, but you will see me talking. You'll get a look at my little school and talk to some of my students, etc. So that's quite exciting. And they're coming back later this year, so we'll be on next year's series also. Okay, so if you have any questions about books, about classes, about anything to do with Spanish, about any way, you know, any advice you need, which book you know, which level you should be, we can also have a short Zoom call, you know, completely free of charge. If you want to discuss your classes, we can chat on Zoom or by telephone, whichever you prefer, and decide, you know, you can make a decision from there. So thank you for watching, and check out my YouTube channel, which is Easy Spanish and English with Vicki. I will put all the details, contact details, in this post. Gracias por mirar. Thank you for watching, and vale, hasta pronto.